Anyone who has been a student knows that peer pressure is one of the most powerful motivating factors in a school, an irrepressible factor that students quickly and deeply internalize. TIS uses this force for the better in multi-age classrooms, or clusters. The primary cluster, grades K through 2, the junior cluster, grades 3 through 5, and the senior cluster, grades 6 through 8.
By the children being in the classroom together at different levels, it allows the ones who are good at what they're doing to do it and let the other ones see them doing it.
Think about it. Are you big?
You can point first and read it, and then Zoe can do it second. Okay?
Across the yard.
Oh, now let Zoe try.
Okay. Across the yard.
It's almost like lead by example. You learn to the second child learns from the older child because the older child has been doing it.
Oh, it's such a scaredy cat.
Letters anyway.
Yeah, I'm T. What did you do to this?
Okay, Mr. Engelhardt's writer. I want you to listen. I am so glad. I don't know what happened to the other "the," but I'm glad that you were able to make that so we weren't missing it. I believe that in a multi-age class, it benefits everybody. And I do think that the 5-year-old needs to look to the 7 or 8-year-olds to know what their own learning should look like and what it will look like. And on the other side, I think it's so beneficial to the older students to be able to be that role model, be that leader. They help out with the younger kids without me asking. Randy sees that Kaya has trouble working the tape player when she's listening to a book on tape, and he just goes right over and helps her. Or Kaya knows that she can, if she needs help, she can go to Randy and ask him for help.
I was actually a little scared coming in last year as a new teacher. I didn't understand how I could have multi-age children together. So it was a great awakening, a huge difference. The older students in my class love it that they can explain something that they learned the previous year.
Okay, so 3 days, right? Okay.
What's right? 10 plus 10 is 20.
1
You have to go
and 1.
one.
Now, we cut 24 in half. 24 is a day. So it would be 12 and 12. Now, what's 1 plus 1? 2.
Or that they've taken some nurture at heart positivity from me that they've heard me say, and now it's coming out of their mouths to these little 5-year-olds.
We have learned more and more how important that is. And even though it feels scary to teachers because it's not how you're taught to teach, once you step into those waters, you don't want to go back. And Michael can probably tell you, oh, please don't give me math class that's got all 5-year-olds, because I love it when I've got my multi-age group and the older children can be role models and help the younger.
Kaya, I know how to do it.
Here you go. Is that all you
Put
need?
this.
And look at the state of middle schools. And here, our middle school students take responsibility for younger students, and they are just wonderful.
I think of each student as a teacher themselves. So each student is able to teach the other student. Maya is in a classroom that is 4 4th graders, 4 5th graders, 4 6th graders, 4 7th graders. So for Maya, she's maturing quickly. She's learning from older students. She's actually learning from students her own age. Maya's grown tremendously this year because this class is an experience.
So I think we've just seen more and more the power of people of different ages working together.
The most important thing happened about 3 months into being in TIS. He came home and he calls me Mommy now. And he said, Mommy, I feel smart.
Detuan and his classmates benefit from the volunteered smarts of teenage boys from the nearby university school.
I'm looking for is teachers who turn boys on to learning, make them feel smart, make them feel motivated, and set them on a certain trajectory in life.
Now he's brilliant. Dance frame. Detuan is brilliant. He's intelligent, creative, and very amicable. But when he came home and told me he felt smart, I knew this was the right choice.
There's a process of helping the parent to understand that it's not just signing up. That's not the end point for you. That's the beginning point of ensuring that your child's going to get a good education and helping to kind of mentor along the parents. My role is to try to educate people who are interested in our school so that then when they make a choice, it's an informed one. And I think that's the key. I mean, we have to provide information to parents so that they have the best possible basis on which to make a choice. We have to also realize that many of our parents did not themselves have a positive relationship with their educational system. We try to take the parent where they are and help that parent to become an effective advocate and supporter of their child's education.
Currently, if you ask my son about Community Day and about what it means to be a member of a community, he always has some great answers.
When Martha saw George's lovely new golden tooth,
They differ from week to week because of what he's heard or what he's learned, but he always gives thought to it, and you see that in his classmates.
That's what friends are for, he said. They always look on the bright side, and they always know how to cheer you up.
Each parent has the opportunity to learn something that is uniquely necessary and important to them. And that can take many forms. It may be learning, how can I better support my child, as a developing reader? Why are Just Right books the best thing to use?
So they sent a book home for the parent, and the child had a book.
You've been reading this book with Mommy at home and reading it in school? I am very amazed that you're reading that.
We both read the book, and we came to the book club meeting, and with other students and their parent or the person that they chose. And we all discussed this book. It was like Oprah. And it was excellent.
It may be learning why it's important and how to help their child be responsible and accountable.
I need you to sit down on the carpet.
So that they learn not to jump in and, save their child every time their child might feel unhappy. So if a parent isn't doing something that we'd like them to do, then we have to ask ourselves, why is that, and how as teachers can we help guide them to the behavior that we want? It's just like with the children. Don't take anything for granted. Teach everything. Model everything.
It should fit.
If parents knew how much teachers treasure every simple thank you note. I mean, just a simple one sentence. Thank you for the time you've, taken with my child this year. I mean, every parent would write that because to the teacher, that's what it's all about. So at our last staff meeting, every teacher wrote a thank you note to every parent.
The kids have the parents behind them. I feel like they can do it, but the parents got to be behind them. The parents never come to school, visit the school. The parents don't know the teacher don't know the parents because the parents is not behind the kids.
I want my children to be the best they can be and have all the opportunities they can have. And I want my children always to want to learn more and more. It tickles me to death that there's a school like this that I can actually put my children in.
I sort of cornered Dr. Kathy Whitehouse and said, Dr. Whitehouse, would you send your child to TIS? I knew her children were older, but if your children were this age, would you send them to TIS? And she smiled at me and said, Adora, this is the school I created for my children. This is the school they didn't have.